All right, we are camping at a campgrounds, KOA in Sandusky. The Lake Erie is like literally right there, except it's all marsh. So it's not really good fishing because it's like this thick of duckweed on top of the marsh, plus all of the reeds and trees growing out of there. But the KOA does have a pond. That's it. That's the pond. Actually, that's half the pond. The other half looks just like that. Tiny pond. I got Anley and me out here. They said there's catfish in here. I caught one earlier. You'll see a little video of that. But so this is going to be a review on the Sandusky KOA pond. We'll let you know what we get, if we get anything else.
And we got a catfish at the KOA pond. Alright, we finally got another catfish at this little KOA pond, using night crawlers as bait. This is a pretty decent size, big head. Let's get him off there. Sign says, do not swim in our pond. Analia, please do not swim in the pond, okay?
Yes, sir.
She's not gonna swim in it, she said.
Got a little bluegill here. Alright, he's a big bluegill actually. Got him on night crawler. Lambert Acres here, and we are finishing our review of the Sandusky KOA catch and release pond. We'll call it that, okay? So, why don't you tell us about the pond, Kai?
So the pond wasn't that big, and we were like fishing with hot dogs and worms, and I didn't catch anything, but he caught some catfish. But Lake Erie is right next to it, and it was like completely marsh, so like it wouldn't even penetrate the top of the moss.
Yep, so this pond was extremely small, and there were a few trees around it. I lost a few hooks and bobbers because you kind of you're trying to get as close as you can to the tree, and it's not a good idea. So I did end up catching some catfish and bluegill, which you saw in the video. And I almost had like a 2.5 footer catfish, but it snapped the line right at the end, so I didn't have my net with me. So was not impressed at all with, like, there was room to have a bigger pond. I'm not quite sure why they have such a small pond. Lake Erie is right there, like he said, but it's the marsh part of Lake Erie. So if you want to fish, you literally have to like walk like a half mile or drive a mile to get to, you know, the marina or somewhere like a boat dock or somewhere like that where you can actually get in and fish from the bank. So if you're gonna say you have a catch and release pond, it better be bigger than the footprint of a house trailer. So that's my opinion. So if you're watching this, Sandusky KOA, up your game up. You got a bounce pad, you got 2 swimming pools, you got a camp store, you got an arcade, you got a theater to watch movies in. Up your game for people who actually want to be outside and do stuff. Okay, thank you. So out of 100, 100 being the best pond you ever fished in, Kai, 0 being the worst, what would you give that?
Probably a 45.
45? I would probably give it a 55 just because I did catch 2 catfish out of it. However, that's fishing like a lot over 3 days. Because my very first cast, I caught a catfish. My very first cast. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a great pond. Yeah, great. This is great. I'm going to be catching catfish or whatever for the next 3 days. And so I kept going back and back and back and back. So, you know, that's how that went. So, all right. That's it. Until next time, God bless.